Hi, everyone, and welcome. I hope everyone is doing amazingly well and happy new Monday. And as we move forward towards the end of the year, I still cannot believe that here we are. I mean, this year has been really interesting. Really interesting. So, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If this is the first time that we are meeting, I am Layla. I'm passionate about health awareness and helping home based business owners take their business to the online platform. And I hope that every time you come through, you get tons of motivation, inspiration, and tips for you to go out, grow yourself, and grow your business as well. So, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And if it's not the first time, I'm so excited to have you back and so grateful for having you here as well. So here we are. And as we move towards the end of the year, I believe that this is a time that most of us are actually taking some time to reflect, building our vision boards, deciding what are we going to be doing in the next 12 months. Even though the only promise that we have is right now, it's also still important for us to have a plan of how we're going to be doing things differently in the few months that are coming. The one tip I actually learned recently is that you really need to divide. You really need to be intentional about dividing your goals into smaller steps. So, like, have new goals for the first, you have your bigger goals, which are probably going to be on your vision board, and then have like 90-day goals that you can evaluate. You can look and you can say, okay, I've grown this much, I've done this much, and things like that. So really do that. And I'm going to be sharing with you 7 steps to actually have an online marketing strategy for your business for 2021. And it's so important for you to look at what you've done correctly and what you can actually improve on. So, the first thing I want to talk about, and we've really spoken about this a lot this year, it's about knowing who your target audience is. And this is so important. Knowing who is your people and who is part of your tribe really helps you decide what type of content are you going to be creating. And most importantly, it really helps you to focus on which platform are you going to be focused on. So if you really know who they are, you will be able to you are going to be able to direct your content, be able to create relationships with that specific group of people. So when you talk about your target audience, you want to probably look at a few things. You want to look at what are their pains, what are their desires, and what are their dreams. Pains, because those are things that make people extremely uncomfortable, and probably your products and your services can actually relate to them in that direction, and you can help them create you can help create pain in order to move them a bit away from where they are. And you're going to be able to create a solution by actually providing your services. So you really want to do that. You really want to create the pain and then reproduce into something that you can relate to them as well. And desires and dreams, these are all the things that they can accomplish by actually being part of your team, being part of doing business with you, and really using your services and products. So you really want to know who your target audience is. And I know that this is a common mistake, and I know that I've made it as well, that I used to believe that everyone was my prospect. But the moment you really realize who your prospect is and how you can target them, how you can speak to them, then you're really going to be able to get to the next level and see amazing results with your business. Number 2 is that you want to start creating the ability to help them. So you want to know what type of content you're going to be creating. Remember, and I also get a lot of people asking me these questions: how can I create relationships if I can't be doing one-on-one with my people, if I can't be there doing presentations, if I can't connect with them like on a face-to-face basis? The answer is you really are going to be creating content by creating amazing, you are going to be creating a relationship by creating amazing content. And I like to give this idea, like if you look at, for example, at Apple, if you look at Nike, if you look at Coca-Cola, most of us are following them on social media, and you will see that the things that they put out, they really are things that we can relate with them. They are answering questions, they are connecting, they are creating amazing graphics, they're creating amazing videos. that really answer to a few questions that we might have. So you really want to be on that specific level as well for your niche and for your company and for your services and for your products. You want to be in that space where people say, you know what, I don't really know what else can I do? I mean, people are asking questions. There's many people asking questions out there, and you want to make sure that you are in front of them when they're asking those questions. So for you to know what type of questions that they're asking, you need to know who they are, because you are going to be having those conversations with them. So really have the ability to help them, have the ability to help your customers, have the ability to help those that might think that they don't need this right now, but they actually might need it. So you want to be that person that really is going out and is creating amazing content and is providing amazing value. Number three is that you want to build trust. And building trust, you have to understand that it takes time, it takes patience, but it's amazing once you actually do it. People need to see you a few more times for them to be acquainted with you and for them to be very comfortable with your presence. So you want to create positive relationships, and you're going to be able to create these positive relationships with creating amazing content and providing value. And this really works in most times. If you have a look at the most interesting people that you've been in contact with, they probably are those that have asked you questions, have given you something in return for what you've actually asked them, and you actually would want to continue listening to them and chatting to them and creating with them, and you wouldn't have a problem really having a conversation with them. So that's exactly what you want to do, and this is why social media is so important. Via YouTube, via Facebook, via Instagram, that's exactly what you're doing. You are you are building trust by providing a positive relationship with your customers and with your prospects. And that you're actually doing by creating the valuable content that you're creating, by answering the questions that they might have through your content. So that's really important, and you actually want to do that. Number four is that you need to have the ability to communicate, and that is really dependent on what you're more comfortable with and where your customers might be at. So if people are on Facebook, then there's many we're going to be putting content in different forms. We are probably going to be doing lives as well. We're also going to be putting written word. We're going to be putting photos. We're going to be putting quotes. So you really need to know where is your audience and what type of questions they might be asking, and what type of platform are they actually using. And you can actually integrate that with your blog if you want to blog, if you have a blog, with your Instagram. But you really need to know where are your prospects. The great thing is, depending on your product, depending on your how comfortable you are, you will know. And depending on your niche, you will know from there where people really are. Like if you have a store, most stores still have a Facebook page, but most of the stores will have an Instagram page, for example. I've seen different results, and I've managed a few different, I have a few different other businesses, and I use different platforms for each. So I still use Facebook as my main platform. And if you need anything, you'll probably find me here most of the times. But I do use LinkedIn and I do use Instagram, because those are for different businesses, and I get different reaches, and I get to interact with different prospects and clients in the different platforms. So to say that, you really need to know who are you going to be targeting and who are you really connecting with, so that you can put more efforts in a specific place and you can actually connect with people where they really are at. Number 8 is that when you do have an online business, you do need to think about, how am I going to be collecting my when there's exchange with money, how am I going to be collecting that? So you need to have an idea of what is going to be your shopping cart, and how are you going to be collecting emails, and also how are you going to be collecting your payment. And here we do have a few options depending on which part of the world you are in. I know that for us in Africa, We do use PayPal, and it does have its limitations and it does have its problems like everything else. But it's really important for you to understand how are you going to be collecting your payment. And PayPal, I like it because you can use for any other businesses. You can create invoices. You can divide your invoices into different payment plans. And I really enjoy it and I use it as well. So if you are probably doing any other type of business, maybe that part of the payment collection is already been decided by someone. So you don't really have to focus that much on that. But if you're not and you're doing your courses and you have a store, then that is something that you need to do for yourself as well. Number 6 is the ability to deliver. And here it's really great. And the one thing that I've learned also this year is that, before we used to go out and have an idea and start creating and then go in and do marketing. This is actually reverse. Oh, I see there, Google, you would appreciate January 21 planner for goal setting. I'll do it. I know that if you are on the email list, we didn't get anything for December, but I'm definitely preparing something for January, and I will post it probably next week. You'll get it on the email as well next week. I'll definitely do that. So as I was saying, so you need to be able to deliver. Like, we as I was saying, I actually learned to reverse engineer that process. Is that you have an idea, but the most important part of all of that is actually starting to go out and promote that idea before it's actually finished, so people can give you feedback. What would they want to have it? What they wouldn't want to have it? How can you actually improve it? So that is something that we have to learn as we go through. So we might be sitting on our gold mine, but then we don't know, because we're going to be creating something that people are actually not looking for it. So we really want to do that. We really want to know how people are doing, how are they thinking, how are they feeling, do they like this part, do they not like that part. So it's really important to get feedback as well. So important to do that, and important to go out and start asking questions, participating on groups and interacting with people. Number 7 is that you want to start creating traffic. And traffic is simply getting more eyes into your store, independent of what that is. And that is what really makes online amazing, because you don't have to be limited by geographically where you are. And I mean, this is different, right? You can still have your great content being consumed in America. You can still have your great content being consumed somewhere else. And in most times, people can still buy your products, even if they're far away, if you are doing an online if you have an online product. But the good thing is, no one is, you want to have those eyes coming to you. And there's many ways that you can do that. And you're going to be deciding based on your budget and based on what you can actually afford. So some people, and I remember that I first started with paid advertising for the longest time. But as I started really getting to understand this process, I started to love doing organic, really getting to know people, getting to have a great chat. And it also helps me understand, how can I really talk about my product? How can I be comfortable talking about it? Because sometimes when you start doing paid advertising, that you hide on behind your paid advertising, then you really don't have to have this connection with people. But I really enjoyed. You learn so much from people. You get such great feedback, and it's a really good experience. It does take time, and it definitely takes patience. But I believe that is such an amazing way for you to understand how can your product, the objections, once you get comfortable with the objections, it's really, really nice to see that, okay, I can actually overcome these objections like this. And when people are saying that, what else can I say? So it really helps you become comfortable with your product, become comfortable with the business that you have, and becoming comfortable to talk to people about it as well. So it really is up to you how you're going to start creating traffic. But there's many, many ways to do free traffic for your business using social media as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is the 7-step quick guide to actually getting to your creating your online marketing for your business for 2021. And I'll definitely be putting, if you are on the email list, you are going to be getting a 2021 planner and goal setting. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.